Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, January 13th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's college basketball, NBA, and NHL games and look ahead to the games for tonight in each sport. We will go over the Sony Invitational for golf, tee times, and a pick, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. We're going to start college basketball. We will recap the games from yesterday, and we will look ahead to everything for tonight. And just letting you guys know in advance, I did not have enough time to make the college football or college basketball lines for tonight, so I apologize about that in advance. Yesterday's results: McNeese over Arlington Baptist, 120-44. Number 14, Villanova over number 17, Xavier, 64-60. Longwood over Radford, 83-75 in overtime. Number 8, Duke over Wake, 76-64. Number 10, Michigan State over Minnesota, 71-69. Number 12, LSU over Florida, 64-58. Temple over Tulsa, 69-64. UCF over Memphis, 74-64. Cincinnati over East Carolina, 79-71. Morehead State over Tennessee Martin, 76-62. NC&T over Hampton, 67-59. Gardner-Webb over Presbyterian, 64-61. Campbell over Charleston Southern, 67-52. Notre Dame over Clemson, 72-56. Vermont over Stony Brook, 98-65. Albany over UMass Lowell, 57-47. UMBC over NJIT, 76-56. Rhode Island over St. Joe's, 75-64. Fordham over Duquesne, 72-71. Western Carolina over Chattanooga, 70-59. Wofford over Sanford, 87-64. Furman over East Tennessee State, 78-69. UNC Wilmington over Alon, 73-66. Mississippi State over Georgia, 88-72. Norfolk State over Delaware State, 80-51. South Carolina Upstate over High Plains, 66-65. Southeast Louisiana over Tougaloo, 77-72. Colorado State over Utah State, 77-72. Tulane over Wichita State, 68-67. SMU over South Florida, 77-65. Missouri State over Southern Illinois, 81-76. Drake over Illinois State, 86-75. Bradley over Evansville, 79-47. UConn over St. John's, 86-78 in overtime. NC State over Louisville, 79-63. Virginia over Virginia Tech, 54-52. Georgia Tech over Boston College, 81-76. TCU over Kansas State, 60-57. Arkansas over Missouri, 87-43. Maryland over Northwestern, 94-87 in double overtime. Santa Clara over Pacific, 84-70. Washington over Cal, 64-55. Dixie State over Cal Baptist, 79-76. Seattle over Utah Valley, 71-65. And Boise State over Nevada, 85-70. All right, and like I said at the top of the show, I didn't do the lines for college basketball for tonight. So I'm just going to blindly pick the games without any projections. 4:30, Florida Gulf Coast and Kennesaw State. Gulf Coast is 4.5 and totals 1 for 8.5. I'm willing to lay it with Gulf Coast. 5 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Number 20, Seton Hall at DePaul. Seton Hall's a 5-point favorite. Totals 147.5. I'm willing to lay 5 with Seton Hall. ESPNU, Stanford, and Washington State. Wazoo's laying 7, totals 136.5. I'm taking Stanford and the points. 6 o'clock, BU Army. It is BU 2.5, total 140.5. I'm going to lay the 2.5 with BU. 6:30, ESPN Theory, Coastal Carolina and App State. It is App State 2.5, total 130.5. I'll take the over. 7 o'clock, ESPN 2, number 16, Ohio State, number 13, Wisconsin. It is How come I don't see it here? Wisconsin 3.5 total, 139.5. I'll take Ohio State getting the 3.5. Oklahoma State at number 19, Texas Tech. Texas Tech's an 8-point favorite. Total is 129. I'll take the over. Canisius and Niagara. Niagara's given 6.5. Total is 135.5. I'll take the over. Lafayette and Loyola, Maryland. I don't see this game. This is very weird. Trying to find it. It is 6.5 and 138.5. I'll take the over. Lehigh and Bucknell. 3.5 and 147.5. I'll lay the 3.5 at Bucknell. Fox Sports 1, Butler and Georgetown. Georgetown's a 1-point favorite, so it's 138. Take a Butler in the 1 and minus 105 straight up. American and Holy Cross. It is Holy Cross by 1.5, total 137. After taking American plus 1.5 and minus 102 to win outright. Colgate and Navy. Navy 4.5, total 139.5. I'll lay the 4.5 at Navy. UTSA and Old Dominion. It is UTSA and Old Dominion. It is 11.5 and 137.5. I'll take the over. North Texas and Marshall. Let's see here. North Texas 4.5, total 137. After taking Marshall in the points, I think they win outright plus 168. CBS Sports Network, Southern Miss and Louisiana Tech. 19 and 136.5. I'm going to take Tech minus the 19, even though it's a big number. FAU and Middle Tennessee. It is 3.5 and 141.5. I'm going to lay the 3.5 at Middle. UTEP and Charlotte. Three and a half and 136.5 in favor of Charlotte. I'll take the over. ESPNU, UNC Asheville and Winthrop. 7.5 and 146.5. I'll lay the 7.5 with Winthrop. Wright State and Robert Morris. Wright State's 4.5 totals 150.5. I'll lay the 4.5 with Wright State. Northern Kentucky and Youngstown State. It's 3.5 and 138.5. I'll lay the 3.5 at Youngstown State. Oakland and Cleveland State. 1.5 and 147.5. I'll lay to 1.5 with Cleveland State. Detroit Mercy and Purdue Fort Wayne. 1.5 and 148.5. I'm going to lay to 1.5 with Purdue Fort Wayne. VMI Mercer 1.5 total 147.5. Vegas knows I'm laying it with Mercer. UNC Greensboro and the Citadel. Greensboro 2.5 total 132.5. I'll lay the points with Greensboro. 7:30 FIU and UAB. UAB's favored by 15.5 total 142.5. I'll take the over. 8 o'clock Tennessee State and Murray State. Murray State's favored by 19.5 totals 148.5. I'll take the over in that one. Austin P and Belmont. 21.5 and 147.5. That's very high for Belmont. I'll take the over. Sam Houston and Lamar. Sam Houston's 5.5 totals 136.5. I'll take the over. Chicago State and Texas Rio Grande Valley. Rio Grande Valley is favored by 9.5 totals 148.5. I'll lay it with Grand Valley. UIC and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's favored by 3.5 totals 135.5. I'll take the over. IUPUI and Green Bay. And Green Bay's favored by 9.5 totals 121.5. That's low. I'll take the over. UL Monroe and Texas State. Texas State's favored by 7.5 totals 141.5. I'll lay the points with Texas State. Louisiana and Texas Arlington. Louisiana's favored by 1.5 totals 134.5. I'll lay the points with Louisiana. Denver and South Dakota. South Dakota's favored by 6.5 totals 140.5. I'll take South Dakota minus the points. Western Illinois, North Dakota. Western's favored by 9.5 totals 155.5. I'll take North Dakota in the 9.5. That's a little high. 8:30 South Dakota State in Omaha. South Dakota State's favored by 14.5 totals 166.5. I'll lay the big number at South Dakota State. 9 o'clock ESPNU. SIU Edwardsville and Eastern Illinois. Edwardsville favored by 6.5 totals 130.5. I'll take Eastern at home with the points. CBS Sports Network, Rice and Western Kentucky. Western's favored by 8.5 totals 152.5. I'll take Rice in the 8.5. I think that is high. Southern Utah and Montana. Southern Utah and Montana. Let's see. It's 2.5 and 141.5. For that one, I'm going to lay the points at Montana. Idaho and Weber State. 16.5 and 157.5. I'll take the under. Abilene Christian and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon's favored by 4.5 totals 130.5. I'll take Christian plus to 4.5. Tarleton, New Mexico State. 10.5 and 129.5. I'm laying the points with New Mexico State. ESPN 2, Georgia State and South Alabama. South Alabama's 1.5 total is 141.5. I'm laying the 1.5 with South Alabama. And on Fox Sports 1, Indiana, Iowa. Iowa's favored by 5 totals 150.5. I'm going to take Indiana getting 5. 9:30 on ESPN. Oregon at number 3, UCLA. UCLA is favored by 10.5, total is 141.5. I'll take the Ducks getting the points. 10 o'clock, UC Santa Barbara and Long Beach State. Santa Barbara is favored by 3.5, total is 145.5. I'll lay the points with Santa Barbara. Cal State Northridge, Cal State Fullerton. Fullerton's favored by 9.5, total is 131.5. I'll take the over. UC Riverside and Cal Poly. Riverside's favored by 6.5, total is 121.5. That's low of a total. I'll go over. Portland and San Diego. San Diego's giving 6.5, total is 139.5. I'll go over on that one. 11 o'clock, ESPN2, BYU at number 2, Gonzaga. Gonzaga's favored by a whopping 15, total is 151.5. I'll go over. ESPNU, Oregon State at number 5, USC. USC's favored by 14.5, total is 140.5. I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, Colorado at number 6, Arizona. Arizona's favored by a whopping 16, total is 149.5. I'm taking Colorado in the 16. That is a lot of points. St. Mary's and Pepperdine. St. Mary's is favored by 11.5, total is 135.5. I'm going to lay the points with St. Mary's. CBS Sports Network, Loyola Marymount in San Francisco. San Fran's favored by 10, total is 136.5. I'll lay the 10 with San Francisco. And at midnight Eastern, UC Irvine in Hawaii. Irvine's favored by 6, total is 131.5. I'll take Hawaii getting the 6 at home. All right, now we'll move on to the NBA. We will recap the games from last night, and we will look ahead to the games for tonight. Don't worry, I actually did the lines for these. Celtics over the Pacers, 119-100. Hornets over the Sixers, 109-98. Wizards over the Magic, 112-106. Heat over the Hawks, 115-91. Knicks over the Mavericks, 108-85. Rockets over the Spurs, 128-124. Cavs over the Jazz, 111-91. Nets over Bulls, 138-112. Kings over the Lakers, 125-116. Tonight, 7:30 TNT, Warriors Bucks. My projection is Milwaukee by 3 1/8. And it is 2 and 223.5. I'll go with the over. No Draymond Green. And they have Clay. So I like that over. 8 o'clock, the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. My projection is this doesn't look right. This does not look right. Grizzlies by 11 3/4, and it's 5.5 and 230. I'll lay to 5.5 with Memphis. Clippers Pelicans. My projection is the Clippers by 7/8, and it's Pelicans by 3, total 215.5. I'm taking the Clippers plus 3, plus 124 to win the game outright. 8:30 Thunder Nets. That's a late time for a Brooklyn Nets home game. Projection 16 and 7/8. And it's 9 and 216.5. I'm laying the 9 with Brooklyn. And 10 o'clock TNT, the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. My projection is Denver by 19 1/4. And it's 9.5 and 215.5. I'm going to lay the 9.5 with the Denver Nuggets. All right, now we'll go over the NHL from last night. And look ahead to everything for today. Bruins over the Habs 5-1. Stars over the Kraken 5-2. And the Coyotes over the Maple Leafs 2-1. Wow. What a bad loss for Toronto, losing at Arizona. Right now we look ahead to tonight's big window of games. 7 o'clock on ESPN, the Flyers and the Bruins. So we got a game on ESPN tonight. That's exciting. Bruins are minus 285. Flyers are plus 230 over under 6, minus 110 each way. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 114. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 106. I kind of like the Flyers puck line plus 1.5 and minus 114. I know I went against the Bruins on the puck line on yesterday's show, but it bit me in the ass. I'm doing it again. Canucks Lightning. The Lightning are minus 275. The Canucks are plus 230. Over under 6. Minus 112. Over unders minus 110. Canucks plus 1/2 is minus 120. Wild. Lightning minus 1/2 is minus 102. I'm going to go over 6. Minus 112. Blue Jackets, Hurricanes. Canes minus 260. Jackets plus 210. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Blue Jackets plus 1/2 is minus 122. Canes minus 1/2 is even money. I'm going to go Canes puck line even money. 7:30 Jets, Red Wings. Jets minus 144. Red Wings plus 120. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Jets minus 1/2 is plus 184. Red Wings plus 1/2 is minus 230. The Red Wings are starting to falter a little bit, and it's showing in the market. But I'm going to give them one more shot. Plus 120 to win outright. Devils, Islanders. Islanders minus 220. Devils plus 180. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Devils plus 1/2 is minus 154. Islanders minus 1/2 is plus 126. I'm going to go with the over. 8 o'clock, Kraken, Blues. Blues minus 240. Kraken plus 195. Over under 6. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Kraken plus 1/2 is minus 140. Blues minus 1/2 is plus 114. Second of the back-to-back, I like the Blues puck line minus 1/2 is plus 114. Sabres, Predators. Preds minus 360. Buffalo plus 280. Over under 6. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 114. Buffalo plus 1/2 is plus 108. Nashville minus 1/2 is minus 132. I'm going over 6 minus 105. 8:30 Canadiens, Blackhawks. Blackhawks minus 205. Canadiens plus 168. Over under 5.5 minus 110 each way. Canadiens plus 1/2 is minus 168. Blackhawks minus 1/2 is plus 136. I like over 5.5 minus 110. 9 o'clock, Senators, Flames. So we got a game in Canada. Feels like for the first time in a while. Flames minus 260. Ottawa plus 210. Over under 6. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Sens plus 1/2 is minus 112. Flames minus 1/2 is minus 108. I like the Flames puck line. Minus 1/2 at minus 108. 10:30 Penguins, Kings. The Penguins are minus 152. The Kings are plus 126. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Penguins minus 1/2 is plus 172. Kings plus 1/2 is minus 215. This is a tough one. The Kings are actually playing well. I'm going to go over 5.5 minus 118. And last but not least, the Rangers and the Sharks. Rangers minus 132. Sharks plus 110. Over under 5.5 minus 110 each way. Rangers minus 1/2 is plus 205. Sharks plus 1/2 is minus 260. I am going to take the over in this game as well. All right, now we'll move on to golf. It's the Sony Invitational, which begins this afternoon around noon. And it's going to be an interesting tournament, to say the least. Or it's the Sony Open. Now I'm going to go through notable tee times. Um, 12:10 Taylor Hoge, Sam Ryder, Dylan McCarthy, Brian Harmon. 12:20 Sepp Straka, Cam Percy, Vince Taylor, Russell Knox, Adam Putnam, Roger Sloan, 12:30 Henry Higgs, Brendan Steele, Keegan Bradley, Brock Stewart, Maverick McNeely. 12:40 Tyler Duncan, Brent Snecker. 12:50 Siwoo Kim, Patton Kazir, Keith Mitchell, Brendan Todd, Brandon Gay, and Brandon Gase. 1 o'clock, Abraham Ancer, JT Potson, Brett Horschel, Harry English, Kyung-Hoo Lee, and Wesley Bryan. 1:10, Webb Simpson, Kevin Kisner, Ryan Palmer, Hideki Matsuyama, and Adam Long. $120, Richie Werenski, Adam Schenk, Evan Van Royen, Matt Thompson, Bo Van Felt. $130, no one really of note in the $130 window. $140, Mario Giglicks in that one. $150, nobody of note. And no one really in the 2 o'clock in either. $430, JJ Spawn, Jason Hadley. 5 o'clock, Camilo Vegas, Kyle Stanley. 5:10, Chris Kirk, Adam Cook, Ryan Moore, Rory Sabatini, Mark Hubbard. In the 5:20 window, Lucas Glover, Nate Lashley, Cam Davis, Seamus Power, Joel Dahman. 5:30, Matt Kuchar, Lucas Donald, Stuart Sink, Corey Connors. The 5:40 window, Jason Kokrak, Zach Johnson, Mark Leishman, Matt Jones, Sanjay Im. The 5:50 window, Cam Smith, Kevin Na, Taylor Gooch. 6 o'clock window, Emiliano Grillo, Ryan Henley, Henrik Norlander. The 6:10 window, Maverick McNeely, Max McGreevy. The 6:20 window, no one really of note. And Vincent Whaley, Lucas Hodges is in the last window at 6:40. So if I had to make a pick for this tournament, the guy I had in mind's name is pretty down here. So maybe I won't go with that player. I like Webb Simpson 15-1. Keep it simple for the Sony Open. Webb Simpson 15-1. I want to go with Ryan Palmer 75-1. But that's a little bit of a long shot. But that would be my long shot pick if I had one. All right, news and notes time for today. Not a lot, surprisingly, for a Thursday. So the Steelers appealed Watt's sack record as the Steelers were denied after inquiring to have sack added to Watt's stats line for the TFL against the Ravens. Utah linebacker Devin Lloyd is going pro, projected first rounder. Hard Rock's captioned Colts coach Frank Reich's motivating speech to the team after its bad loss to the Jaguars. Damian Lillard to have abdominal surgery. Timetable for return is to be determined. So it looks like he's going to be out another 2 months, I would say. There's a little bit of a feud going on with the Raptors mascot and Devin Booker, as the mascot trolls Booker with a newer profile picture. Rich Paul had lunch with the 76ers. Nothing changed. That's it for the Ben Simmons update for today. Reigning MVP Shohei Ohtani says that baseball isn't dead, as he said he wants to make baseball America's most popular sport again. Coach K missed last night's game against Wake Forest as John Shire took over and did well. Giants owner John Mara spoke yesterday, and he said that this was the lowest moment, as he said, I kept thinking during the season we'd hit rock bottom each week. It got worse. And the Giants, speaking of, interviewed Bills executive Joe Schoen and Cardinals executive Adrian Wilson. I'm more intrigued by Joe Schoen than Wilson, because Schoen has some connections with the Bills and some of people in the Giants organization. But I know that they are very a family-oriented business, but it looks like the Giants are going outside the family with this potential hire. So that's really good on John Mara. So you got to give credit where credit's due, even though I've killed the guy on this show several times. Six-time Pro Bowl safety Eric Weddle unretires for the playoffs to play for the Rams. That is so cool. So the Rams just continue with their all-star roster. And last one, Seahawks Pro Bowl safety Quandre Diggs out 4 to 5 months after having successful surgery for broken fibula and dislocated ankle. So that's unfortunate for Diggs, and hopefully he'll be ready to go for training camp in the summer. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Even though I didn't do the lines for college basketball today, there's one in the NBA that I think would have overwhelmingly would have been the pick regardless, and that is the Memphis Grizzlies laying 5.5 at home against the Timberwolves. They're red hot, 10 straight wins. John Morant has made the huge leap this year, and Madison is going for 9-0 with her best bets. So, going with a safe bet, a hot team in the Grizzlies. So I'm going to lay 2 units on Memphis minus the 5.5 at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be 5-0 in best bet, and then we'll go over everything from tonight, look ahead to everything tomorrow and the weekend as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.